Through the day, Siddharth and our team have been getting us all of these reports. Our reporting team, Priyank, everyone has been getting us these reports from across the national capital of what it has been reduced to. Now imagine what would you do when the state you are in charge of is deluged. You would be on the ground doing crisis management, right? Instead, let's now show you 3 pictures from 2 states of what the Aam Aadmi party was up to in Delhi and Punjab. In the national capital, the Aam Aadmi party decided to float a bizarre conspiracy theory that it is the BJP that has deliberately inundated the city to seek revenge from its voters. Then, even as the city sank today morning and the chief minister and the lieutenant governor went to inspect the spot at ITO and Vikas Bhavan where a drain regulator was damaged. Here is what the Aam Aadmi party minister present at the spot along with the CM did.
सर एक निवेदन है छोटा सा सर रात को भी मैंने कई ऑफिसर से स्पेसिफिकली रिक्वेस्ट की कि एनडीआरएफ को बुलाइए बट सर वो माने नहीं रात को अब आई है एनडीआरएफ थैंक यू है बट सर रात को आ जाती तो बेहतर हो जाता सर अश्विनी जी को मैंने कहा ग्रुप पे लिखा सीएस साहब भी थे उस पे सर थोड़ी सी मदद हो जाती सर
मैं सौरभ जी ये कहना चाहूँगा कि ये समय नहीं है कि हम किसी के ऊपर ब्लेम करें या कुछ और टिप्पणी करें इस वक्त हमें टीम वर्क करने की ज़रूरत है कहने के लिए मैं भी बहुत सारी चीज़ें कह सकता हूँ लेकिन उसकी ज़रूरत नहीं है हमें इस वक्त ये देखना है कि हमारे लोगों को कोई तकलीफ नहीं हो और जो प्रॉब्लम हमारे सामने है हम उसको सॉल्व करें ये सारी चीज़ें बात को हो सकती हैं हमें इतना समझना चाहिए एनडीआरएफ की टीम का जहाँ तक सवाल है सुबह मेरी 7 बजे आर्मी से बात हुई होम मिनिस्टर साहब से बात हुई है और उन्होंने अपनी टीम को पहले भेजा है उन्होंने असेसमेंट किया है असेसमेंट करने के बाद क्या रिक्वायरमेंट है उसके काम शुरू हो गए हैं तो हमको जो है थोड़ा सा समझदारी से काम करने की ज़रूरत है सबको एक साथ मिलकर काम करने की ज़रूरत है हम ब्लेम गेम में जाएंगे तो परेशान हो जाएंगे
So the Lieutenant Governor, in the presence of the Chief Minister, was ambushed and was told nobody is picking my phone call all of the night when help from the NDRF was needed. And this, by the way, was happening even as the national capital continued to flounder. Imagine, such was the condition of Delhi that even iconic landmarks, the Samadhi of Bapu, the Red Fort, were not spared. Take a look at these images. One look and you can see the condition of a city that we were told would be like Singapore, would be like London in the last 10 years. We were told it would be a city of lakes. It is, but not in the way that you would have liked. At Red Fort, a bus yesterday which had just about 2 feet of water, today was almost entirely underwater. At Rajghat, when Times Now started reporting, at 7 in the morning, you could still see the signage of Rajghat. Within a few hours, within an hour in fact, even that had gone totally underwater. Look at what happened at 9 a.m. You couldn't see nothing. Bapu Samadhi was completely underwater. Over a period of 3 hours, this is what Delhi went through. And this drama of ambushing the LG, of trying to float conspiracy theory, all of that was happening. Now let's come to the most dramatic part, the conspiracy theory that I am talking about. All this while, the Aam Aadmi party told us, we all have to work together. This is not a time for politics. Remember the first press conference that Arvind Kejriwal did? He said, we shouldn't point fingers. This is not a time for finger pointing. Let's work together. But today his party decided to declare that Delhi has been deliberately drowned. How? By releasing water. The BJP is releasing water from the Hathnikund barrage and water is being sent solely in the direction of Delhi. Uttar Pradesh has been spared. Basically, let me just explain to you how the Hathnikund barrage works. This barrage has one, the western Yamuna canal. It comes towards Delhi. The other canal is the eastern Yamuna canal and it goes towards Uttar Pradesh. The Aam Aadmi party's argument is that the western Yamuna canal is overflowing. BJP is releasing water in it. So much water that it's deluged. And the other side, the eastern Yamuna canal, is completely dry. Because BJP is not releasing any water towards Uttar Pradesh. The eastern Yamuna canal is completely dry. All this misery is being spared. And to bolster this claim, the Aam Aadmi Party also found a citizen reporter who filed this ground report. Watch.
आज हम खड़े हैं हरियाणा के हथनीकुंड बैराज पर, जो हल्का जगाधरी में पड़ता है। मैं आपको दिखाना चाहता हूं कि ये हथनीकुंड बैराज है। ये जो पानी है सारा दिल्ली की तरफ जा रहा है यहाँ से। साथ ही मैं आपको दिखाऊंगा कि यहाँ पे इससे एक पानी और डाइवर्ट किया जा सकता है। ये जो पानी है ये यूपी की साइड, सहारनपुर साइड एक नहर जाती है, तो उसमें ये डाइवर्ट किया जा सकता है। सारा पानी दिल्ली की तरफ जा रहा है। अब मैं आपको हम देखते हैं कि क्या इधर जो सहारनपुर की तरफ यूपी में जो नहर जाती है उसमें भी पानी है। यूपी को ये नहर जाती है साथ में, जो हमने आपको दिखाया था। 14 जुलाई फ्राइडे के दिन मैं यहाँ खड़ा हूँ सुबह। अब आप देखिए ये नहर बिल्कुल ही सूखी है। जब हमने लोगों से पता किया तो वो कह रहे हैं कि अमूमन इस नहर में पानी चलता है, पर पता नहीं 2-3 फ्लड की वजह से सारा पानी दिल्ली की तरफ डाइवर्ट किया गया है। कोई भी पानी यूपी की साइड नहीं छोड़ा गया। अब मैं आपको वो फ्लो दिखाता हूँ जो दिल्ली की साइड जा रहा है पानी, सारा के सारा। साइड से मैं आपको फ्लो दिखा सकता हूँ। ये सारा यूपी की साइड ये है, ये सारी नहर सूखी है और साथ ही जो फ्लो है ये वो पानी है सारा के सारा जो दिल्ली को जा रहा है।
But Delhi isn't the only one. Punjab too has seen the Satluj, the Bias, Ravi, Ghaggar rivers overflowing their banks. Villages in Jalandhar, Kapurthala, Hoshiarpur, Nawashahar districts have reported flooding and waterlogging. But guess what the Chief Minister of Punjab's priorities were? If in Delhi it was about a blame game, looking for a fall guy, in Punjab the Chief Minister was on the ground, but he was more interested in having a clear video shot without anyone blocking the camera.
प्लीज सारे साइड हो जाओ, साइड हो जाओ। उन्हें घुमानी है, ऐसा करो बेटा, वो प्लीज सारे साइड हो जाओ, साइड हो जाओ।
So the question now is very simple. In this time of crisis, why has this conspiracy theory been floated? What is the logic behind having a photo op when your state is flooded? Or is this conspiracy theory only now an effort to try and avoid accountability? Is there no accountability on the part of the state government? Joining me on the debate, Karan Verma, author, political analyst Ramnik Mann, Maheshinder Singh Grewal, vice president and spokesperson of the Shiromani Akali Dal, Dr. Akashdeep Muni and Sanjeev Kaushik, both political analysts, and they support the Aam Aadmi Party. Now I'm going to ask you this, Dr. Akashdeep Muni. What is this new conspiracy theory that Bharatiya Janata Party is personally going to the Hathnikund barrage and is releasing water towards Delhi? Bharatiya Janata Party, not an engineer, not the Water Commission, but perhaps Mr. Modi himself is standing there. वो एक टैप खोल रहे हैं, एक टैप बंद कर रहे हैं, एक टैप खोल रहे हैं, एक टैप बंद कर रहे हैं. Are you serious?
मोदी जी फ्रांस में हैं, वो अपना टूर कर रहे हैं आराम से, उनको देश की कोई परवाह नहीं है, परवाह होती तो देश में होते, ठीक है। पहली बात, वो बराज, दैट बराज वाज मेंटेन्ड बाय हरियाणा गवर्नमेंट एंड इट हैज the log records of that particular barrage has been put on public from 9th to 13th. It showed that they have released only water throughout in the western front, that is towards Delhi, and they have left the eastern front vacant, that is Uttar Pradesh. If both the places water would have been diverted, things would have been different. In the case, see, there has been no rain since last 4 days in Delhi. So water comes from Haryana and goes to Uttar Pradesh. If water is not let, listen to me, now coming of the water is let, Haryana is providing all the water to Delhi, all the flood water. Now that water has to leave from Delhi. So while that water has to leave from Delhi, the gates which are maintained by Haryana, that ITO barrage, that gates were also jammed. That has been opened by Delhi government. So Haryana government did not do that either.
So let's just first of all, Dr. Akashdeep Muni. So I will again put it very simply. I explained it at the top, but just to paraphrase you again, you are basically saying 2 canals, one coming towards Delhi, one going towards Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh canal, no water. Delhi canal, lots of water. Haryana government is doing this, right? That's your theory?
Yes. Yes.
Now, do you know, by the way, that in the western Yamuna canal, there are at least 3 districts of Haryana that also come in the way. The Haryana government will have to be a very stupid government or really hate Mr. Kejriwal to say, जैसे कहते हैं ना, हम तो ले डूबेंगे सनम, हम तो डूबेंगे सनम, तुम्हें भी ले डूबेंगे. तो खट्टर जी लिटरली वही कर रहे हैं कि हम भी डूबेंगे सनम, तुम्हें ले डूबेंगे. तो वो कह रहे हैं कि चलो दिल्ली को डुबाने के लिए मैं हरियाणा को भी डुबो देता हूं.
नहीं, मैं रेडी हूं उसके लिए.
तो मिस्टर खट्टर, अकॉर्डिंग टू यू, इज रिलीजिंग वाटर deliberately in the western Yamuna canal, knowing that his own state will be affected, just to drown people of Delhi. That is your theory?
The point which I am making is that you are talking about Haryana. The condition of Haryana is so poor that people of Haryana are slapping MLAs.
You are dodging my question. You are dodging my question. Answer the question, sir. If you have such a profound conspiracy theory, if you have such a profound conspiracy theory, let's talk on facts. You said the Haryana government maintains the Hathnikund barrage. Correct?
I just want to ask to the BJP government, do they acknowledge today that they have not released any water in the eastern front as per the log records?
Sir, now you are not answering my question. I will get in Ramnik Mann in just a second. But first you answer my question. You are saying that Mr. Khattar deliberately released more water in the western Yamuna canal to drown Delhi, knowing that his own state will also be affected. Is that what you're saying?
More water, all water in the western front.
Okay.
And all.
So he hurt his own state in order to punish people.
Not to hurt his own state, because you have seen that video, you've shown that video. That particular barrage sends all the 300 cusecs water directly into Delhi. And Delhi, remember,
so first of all, here's the thing.
No rain is happening in Delhi.
Here's the thing. I have one more counter. Again, the BJP would be a really stupid party just before the Lok Sabha election. First of all, there is no assembly election, so I don't know why they are punishing the assembly voters. Which is the election that is coming? The Lok Sabha election. So the BJP is such a stupid party that before the Lok Sabha, they are like, जिस स्टेट में हमारे सातों के सातों सीटें हैं, चलो उसको हम डुबोएं, उनको हम पनिश कर दें, साथ के साथ एमपीज हमें देने के लिए. Because why not?
वो साथ के साथ एमपीज कोई काम नहीं कर रहे ना, वो वैसे ही पनिश होंगे.
अच्छा, तो मोदी जी अपने एमपीज को पनिश कर रहे हैं, कह रहे तुम भी डूबो.
ग्रासरूट पे एक एमपी दिखा आपको? आपको दिखे मीनाक्षी लेखी जी ग्रासरूट पे?
You're not answering my question.
No.
What is BJP punishing Delhi for? They have all 7 MPs.
I don't want to do a psychological analysis of Bharatiya Janata Party.
सर, आपने खट्टर जी का तो पूरा साइकोलॉजिकल एनालिसिस कर दिया कि वो नफरत में डूबी हुई ऐसी पार्टी है कि उन्होंने एकदम हथनीकुंड बराज में से ऐसे पानी आधा इधर और आधा उधर निकाला.
खट्टर जी के विधायकों को थप्पड़ पड़ रहे, लोग मार रहे और पूछ रहे क्यों आए हो अब? क्या आप मना कर रहे हैं ये चीज?
अच्छा, अब आप थप्पड़, अभी आप कंस्पिरेसी थ्योरी से अब आप विधायकों पे चले गए. चलिए, लेट मी गेट इन Ramnik Mann. Ramnik Mann, now explain the mystery. Why is it that Eastern Yamuna Canal no water, Western Yamuna Canal why so much water?
So let me first try and answer Dr. Saab on the points that he had made. To be very clear, Dr. Saab, if there was a chief minister who would hold a record of getting slapped by the people, that will be Kejriwal. And that's for a record, number one. Number two, when you talk about the conspiracy theory of NDRF, you know, your minister is crying, howling for one night. कि जी कल नहीं रात को आए, आज सुबह 7 बजे आ गए. Can somebody please explain on behalf of the Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal? He has been the Chief Minister of Delhi since, what, 9 years, 6 months and 11 days? If you put it together, it works out to be 3,485 nights, my dear sir. ये इतनी रातें सो रहे थे? I must also emphasize and tell you that Arvind Kejriwal and Bhagwant Mann were in a city called Panchkula, which is adjoining Chandigarh, just the day this tragedy started to happen. And you could see Bhagwant Mann and you can see Arvind Kejriwal. They're the most visible chief ministers, not on the ground, but on the newspaper front pages, but in those advertisements which are paid for by the people of Punjab. And by the way, Dr. Muni, I heard you very patiently, sir. Now, please, you know, let's reciprocate the gesture. Now, let's assume the water is coming from Haryana. Do you know the chief minister has not put a high power pressure pump? He's pumping out water from beneath the ground and pumping it into Delhi. पानी हमारे पास भी जम्मू कश्मीर से, पंजाब से और हिमाचल से आ रहा है. The water is coming naturally from other side. ठीक है? That is one. The other is आपका आपदा प्रबंधन, disaster management is in a complete disaster. And I am re-emphasizing 3,485 days in power. Arvind Kejriwal in Delhi did nothing other than, you know, getting his vote bank on the banks of Yamuna, which have now, you know, sir, please, let's give 1 minute of silence. Dekho, Muni, Dr. Muni, I was patient to listen to you and all those barrage of, you know, nonsensical accusations that they were making against either the Prime Minister or the Chief Minister of Haryana. I kept listening to you patiently. Now, please reciprocate, sir. Please reciprocate. Now, when you target, you know, you get down to such cheap levels of your publicity. Your chief minister, either it's Bhagwant Mann or it's Arvind Kejriwal, they're all for photo ops. किसी कैमरा के आगे से हटो, you know, let the chief minister be there in the picture, in the photo frame. What have you done on ground? You not fulfilled any promises. And I must tell you also, sir, सुन लो यार, आप please, you know, can you please
okay, one at a time. 10 more seconds, Ramnik Mann, finish your point, then Akashdeep Muni will respond. Yes.
Dr. Muni or doctor of what I don't know, hypocrisy? Let me speak, sir. आप ही आप बोलेंगे क्या? So my point here is, it is also about corruption. It is also about vote bank politics. You allow people and you let your departments let people occupy the natural course of water, which is then blocked. And people lose their lives. You are the ones responsible for loss of lives.
Okay, respond, Dr. Akashdeep Muni.
Delhi, the governments of that part, they are responsible. और बताओ, आप क्या दिल्ली के अंदर आपने कोई RCC की दीवारें खड़ी करके you stopped water in Delhi?
Respond.
Is the water not flowing down?
Akashdeep Muni, what was the work done? Now it's easy to pass the buck, to blame others. For what?
I'll answer all the questions.
Yes, Akashdeep Muni.
I'll tell you. Yes. You talk about, preparation. 1,000 pumps were installed in Delhi to pump out water from the basic temporary pump, permanent pump, both. 148 waterlogging points has been put into existence so that water can be removed. Third point, desilting work. 95% of desilting work has been done, and this has been said by corporators in the floor of MCD.
That is not true. Let me actually give you data about desilting. Let me give you actual data here, sir. On the 7th of July, it was reported that when the MCD House met on 9th of June, the civic body's engineering wing announced that just 55% of the corporation's 700 bigger drains had been cleaned until then. The initial deadline for completing the desilting was the 15th of June. It was not met. Thereafter, the MCD said in a statement on 20th of June that silting of small drains is 80% complete and all the other drains will be desilted by June 28. So you are being economical with the truth, sir. The MCD's own engineering wing said that when it comes to the larger drains, because of which flooding is happening today, 55% was all that had been desilted by the deadline that you had set. You. And आपने तो बोला था एमसीडी आपको मिलेगी, आप दिल्ली को सिंगापुर बना देंगे, लंदन बना देंगे, न्यूयॉर्क बना देंगे, हांगकांग बना देंगे.
Because of the lackadaisical attitude of Haryana government, while you ignore them today, it's okay. Coming on to a Delhi desilting work, are we talking about waterlogging or are we talking about flood? Flood is because
you should decide that, because when I asked you what have you done, you said, oh, we have desilted all drains. Now when I'm giving you data that you haven't, you're like, अरे नहीं ये तो अब हथनीकुंड की गलती है. आप पहले डिसाइड कर लीजिए ना,
मुझे बताइए
दिल्ली की दुर्दशा किस वजह से है, हथनीकुंड की वजह से या नालों की वजह से. फर्स्ट यू फिगर इट आउट.
गवर्नमेंट की गलती नहीं है जो हथनीकुंड से पानी से दिल्ली की तरफ भेजा जा रहा था, उत्तर प्रदेश की तरफ छोड़ दिया गया था. ऐसा क्यों? वो वीडियो में क्लियरली दिख रहा है.
आओ, वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड. सो दिस हैपेंस अगेन एंड अगेन. लेट मी एक्चुअली टेल यू, we reached out to the technical team. So now give me a minute, since you've asked such incisive questions again, let me actually give you the technical reason. Here is what happens. It is really not what Mr. Muni would have you believe, that suddenly Mr. Khattar wakes up in the middle of the night and he gets this surreptitious phone call from Yogi Adityanath saying hame pani nahi chahiye, and he's like chalo nal band. First of all, the gates to both of these canals are automated. Nobody is sitting there कि वो अपना नल बंद कर रहे हैं और इधर से नल खोल रहे हैं. These are automated gates. The flow of water in both of these canals happens in an automated fashion. You don't agree, Dr. Muni? Why are you again angry?
No. ITO barrage, जैसे ITO barrage का गेट खुल नहीं रहा था, उसको खोला गया, वैसे ये ऑटोमेटेड नहीं था. इसको खोला भी जाता है, बंद भी किया जाता है. ये हो सकता है.
Okay. Now let me actually tell you what is the calculation that is done. The respective share of water in the Yamuna river is divided at Hathnikund barrage. Haryana and Delhi share is taken in the Western Yamuna canal. Haryana and Delhi, like I said at the beginning, again very stupid. If the BJP is flooding, then they're also flooding Haryana by releasing water in the Western Yamuna canal. That's point number one. The capacity of Western Yamuna canal is 18,000 cusac and EJC capacity is 5,000 cusac. So any quart that comes at the HKB, the Hathnikund barrage, is divided in a ratio of 2:3 in the Western Canal and 1:3, 1:3. 1/3 goes into Eastern Canal, 2/3 goes in the Western Canal. So it is just a distribution of water, but even there, when you have the river Yamuna at more than 1 lakh cusac, then both the WJC, which is the Western Canal, and the Eastern Canal are shut. Because both of them were shut, whatever water remained in Western Canal remained there, and whatever was there in Eastern Canal, if it was not there, that is the video that the Aam Aadmi party is showing. It's a fairly simple explanation. Dr. Akashdeep Muni.
Confused technically, but the reality is that the eastern front was left vacant and no water went into Uttar Pradesh, while all water went into Delhi. When Delhi flooded without any rains, BJP flooded Delhi and then again questioned that why it is flooding, why aren't you prepared? Now, was there any rain? Okay. This is about flooding, not waterlogging.
Okay, respond. Respond to this, Karan Verma.
Padmaja, you explained it quite articulately. Let me just add on to that. The two canals, no canal can take more than possibly 50 to 75,000 cusacs of water. It will burst open. So, first of all, when the water flows from Hathnikund, there is a main gate where about 2 to 3 lakh cusacs go into Yamuna. That is where 70 to 75% of the water goes. Leave aside the canals. That is what Mr. Akash Muni is not going to answer. This water going into Yamuna, unfortunately, due to the lack of cleaning of Yamuna, due to the desilting there, what is happening is it's not going to Mathura. And this flowback is causing this water logging and this flooding situation. There is only one man responsible for this squarely, and that is Arvind Kejriwal. He has failed to clean Yamuna time and again. He has failed to clean the 2,800 drains, and you rightly pointed out on 9th of June when they said that 55% of the drains have been cleaned. It was also pointed out that no drain deeper than 4 feet was cleaned, even in those 55%. Because no extra manpower was deployed for that. So this has been a complete abdication of responsibility by Arvind Kejriwal for 9 years. In 2016, he said we'll have a world-class drainage system by 2018. In 2018, IIT Delhi proposed a plan 7 years later, and in 2021, it was rejected by Arvind Kejriwal as inadequate. Now, in 2023, he's hired a consultant. We are still at least 2 to 3 years away from the beginning of a drainage plan.
And by the way, Mr. Sanjeev Kaushik, you know, today suddenly the Aam Aadmi party has woken up to this grand conspiracy. The fact is their own chief minister already knew कि हथनीकुंड में ऐसा नहीं है कि भाई वो कहेंगे कि अच्छा हम पानी रोक करके बैठ जाते हैं. He himself was briefed on this by the Union Minister Gajendra Shekhawat, and after that, here is what the Chief Minister himself said. Listen, Mr. Kaushik, to what Mr. Kejriwal himself said.
देखिए वो तो जितना पानी आ रहा है उतना उनको छोड़ना ही पड़ रहा है. वो वहाँ पे कोई रिजर्वायर नहीं है जो रखेंगे, तो वो तो आवरली डेटा आ रहा है कि कितना पानी वो लोग छोड़ रहे हैं. तो उसके हिसाब से ऐसा लगता है जो पानी कल छोड़ा उन्होंने वो कि आज शाम तक थोड़ी सी पानी लगता है राइज करेगा, उसके बाद हो सकता है पानी नीचे जाना चालू हो जाए.
मिस्टर कौशिक, चीफ मिनिस्टर को रेगुलर डेटा मिलता है कितना पानी छोड़ा जा रहा है. ये कौन सी कंस्पिरेसी की बात कर रहे हैं? वो खुद बोल रहे हैं कि भाई हथनीकुंड में कोई ऐसा सिस्टम नहीं है, कोई रेजर्वोयर नहीं है. रेजर्वोयर बेसिकली मींस दैट यू कैन नॉट हैव लाइक अ लिटिल पॉन्ड देयर वेयर यू कैन विदहोल्ड वाटर. एंड आई एम गेटिंग डेटा रेगुलरली, ही इज सेइंग. सडनली यू आर लाइक ना कंस्पिरेसी. कौशिक जी,
देखिए पद्मजा, दो बातें हैं. पहली बात तो ये कि जिसको आप कॉन्स्पिरेसी थियरी की बात कर रही हैं वो एक सोची समझी रणनीति है. जिस पार्टी की ही रणनीति ये रही हो शुरू से ही कि डबल इंजन की सरकार हो तो राज्यों का विकास ज़्यादा बेहतर होगा, और जिस राज्य में डबल इंजन की सरकार नहीं होती है उसके साथ सौतेला रवैया, ये कोई छुपी हुई बात नहीं है, सारे लोग जानते हैं. मैं तो दो बातें कह रहा हूँ कि दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री यदि दिल्ली में रहते हैं तो देश के प्रधानमंत्री कहाँ रहते हैं? वो भी तो दिल्ली में रहते हैं.
डबल इंजन है, और जिम्मेवारी डबल इंजन है, तभी एनडीआरएफ कल से काम कर रही है ना, तभी आर्मी बुलाई गई है. सर, डू यू रियलाइज फॉर द आर्मी टू बी कॉल्ड इन इज अ वेरी सीरियस कमेंट ऑन द गवर्नमेंट.
देश के
बट इट्स ओके, इफ यू नीड हेल्प विल बी गिवन.
देश के 5 स्टेट में नहीं, आप मेरी बात नहीं जाने देंगे. देश के 5 स्टेट में इस तरह की भयावह स्थिति है और देश के प्रधानमंत्री कहीं और हैं और इस तरह की बातें की जा रही है. और एलजी साहब क्या करें? एलजी साहब से चुने हुए एक प्रतिनिधि, दिल्ली के सरकार के एक मंत्री यदि ये बात कह रहे हैं कि अधिकारी हमारी बात नहीं सुन रहे हैं, और रात में यदि वो सुन लेते तो सुबह में ये भयावह
अधिकारी बात नहीं सुन रहे सर.
तो एलजी साहब
एनडीआरएफ इतने दिनों से लगी हुई है, हमारे पास सारे विजुअल्स हैं. एनडीआरएफ बोटों से लोगों को निकाल रही है, एनडीआरएफ पंप ठीक कर रही है, इंजीनियर्स की बोटें चल रही है वहां, आर्मी इंजीनियर्स की.
एक चुने हुए प्रतिनिधि के सामने पद्मजा एलजी साहब ने जो जवाब दिया, क्या एक चुने हुए प्रतिनिधि के सामने ये जवाब उचित था कि मैं भी चाहूं तो कुछ तरह की बातें कर सकता हूं और विवादित बातें मैं कर सकता हूं? क्या बात वो कहना चाहते थे?
वो ये कहना चाहते थे कि राजनीति मत कीजिए.
कि जब अधिकारों की बात होती है तो केंद्र सरकार लगातार ये बात कहती है कि केंद्र सरकार दिल्ली सरकार को ये बताती है और अल्टीमेटम देती है कि आप अपने अधिकार क्षेत्र में रहिए. जब अधिकार की बात होती है तो
देयर इज अ कंस्पिरेसी और अधिकारी अब फोन भी नहीं उठाते,
तो सारा दिल्ली सरकार के ऊपर सर पे आप ठीकरा फोन देना चाहते हैं.
The officials don't pick up Saurabh Bhardwaj's phone.
Okay. Now, point is that Arvind Kejriwal was supposed to clean the bed of Yamuna. The Yamuna bed was supposed to be cleaned. It did not happen. The fund allocated for that was 8,000 crore rupees. Where did that money go? Let that be answered by the Aam Aadmi party. Also, I must point out, in 2019, 8.28 lakh cusecs of water was released from Hathnikund barrage, as opposed to 3.25 lakh cusecs this time around. So when you compare the data, you are talking about literally 1/3 of water being released. from the Hathnikund barrage, and still Delhi is in this shape. So there has to be responsibility fixed. You know, while asking for votes, you could say कि मैं दिल्ली को Paris बना दूंगा या London बना दूंगा. आपने Venice बना दिया है. You promised lakes in Delhi. You didn't promise that you will completely change the entire city into a large lake. So I personally feel, you know, in my opinion, you have to look inwards, Mr. Kejriwal, and all those people who are trying to defend Kejriwal, that, you know, for everything that happens wrong in Delhi, somebody else is responsible. Either, you know, Captain Amrinder Singh was responsible for pollution, Manohar Lal Khattar was responsible for pollution in Delhi. Now Manohar Lal Khattar is responsible for flooding in Delhi. I mean, when will the Chief Minister become a little wise, you know, sound more mature, and take the ownership of the state he's running for the last 9 years, 6 months, 10.5 years?
And Maheshinder Singh Grewal, the best thing is that Sanjeev Kaushik is sitting here saying, where is the Prime Minister? Where is the Prime Minister? While their own CM in Punjab is on camera saying कि एक पीछे से frame बनाओ, video अच्छा होना चाहिए, in the middle of relief operations.
Padma ji, first of all, I will request you, everybody knows on this earth that the AAP has a team of big liars, and they tell lie, and you give your channel to speak this lie to the people, which nobody is going to believe.
No, sir, they have the right to put their view forward. We cannot censor their view.
Now listen, in Punjab, all the canals, all the drains, and all the small khadas are dry the day Punjab was flooded. Who kept it dry? The Punjab government. Why they didn't allow the water to go to the canals, to the nalas? They should tell the people of Punjab also, and not me, but their member parliament Rajya Sabha, Sant Sichewal, reported in the paper today, in English paper, that Punjab government is squarely responsible for this flood. He said, I have written a letter to the Punjab government in November 22 that please get all the drains, nalas and rivulets clean. But they have done nothing. And on the other hand, they have spent crores of rupees on issuing unnecessarily false advertisements.
You know, and I want to bust one more claim over here of people who are saying nothing has happened in UP, सब कुछ दिल्ली में डाला जा रहा है. Here is actually a chief minister whose state has also been affected, responding to the situation like a chief minister. Listen to Yogi Adityanath.
हिमाचल प्रदेश, दिल्ली में भारी बरसात के कारण यमुना जी में काफ़ी जल भराव हुआ है, काफ़ी बाढ़ की स्थिति आई है और हथनीकुंड बैराज से भी ज़्यादा जल छोड़ने के बाद ये समस्या और भी विकराल हुई थी. उसमें धीरे धीरे करके राहत की ओर बढ़ रहा है. सहारनपुर जनपद के कुल 118 गांव और शहर के 28 मोहल्ले जल भराव की चपेट में आए थे. इसमें लगभग 2.25 लाख.
So Saharanpur is just one of the districts that has also been affected. Hathnikund barrage has also affected Uttar Pradesh. Nobody is saying there isn't a problem. But a chief minister, even Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu for that matter, he's saying, yes, there is a problem. Yes, I've spoken to the Union Home Ministry. We have asked for help. We are going to get through all of this. That is the simple point. Whether it be the migrant crisis during COVID, whether it be the availability of oxygen, whether it be now a flood that has happened, yes, because of excessive rain, everything cannot be palmed off to others and conspiracy and BJP hates us. This is a, plot against the people. There has to be some level of accountability. If not 100%, a little bit maybe. I'll leave you with that thought. Thanks very much, Judge, for joining me.